So would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this album?
Honestly, I felt probably a bit manic and crazy from all the touring. Like,
Mm.
I don't think I'd ever been doing that much touring while writing at the same time when I was supposed to be doing. I don't know. It just felt like we were so deep in Alpha Wolf shit at this time.
Mm.
Like we'd never been busier, sort of thing, and it felt exciting because writing music and creating art is exciting, but it also felt more like work than anything else. Like, not like it was a chore to do, but like creating this thing was like, we are like in this machine right now, and this thing is fuel for this machine for the next 2 years, so to speak. Like,
Mhm.
so we were really juggling this whole like creating an album better than the last one, also surviving touring and not burning out and everything, and then also just like how to feed this machine, how to keep this like, 'cause we're in a really strange transition period where like we can't work, we're like broke, but like the band is sort of earning enough money that we don't have to work, but when we don't tour we do, and it's just like it's really sort of tumultuous and strange and scary and exciting at the same time, because I'm like paying bills with metalcore money, but at the same time I'm like super broke, and it's like this is my dream I've wanted all along, but it's really 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 hard work.
Yeah.
um and I think that's like that sort of shows in the album. Not a lot of it talks about it or whatever, but a deep frustration of like going through it because you really want it, basically. Like,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You used the analogy that like this album is the fuel for the band for the next 2 years to keep the machine going.
Yeah.
Was the pressure on for you from the second that the last record came out and you were just like, it's go time now, like next record, got to start writing it? Or did the pressure start to build as it got closer to that recording time?
I think I definitely tried to not think about it until we started, and that was probably a bad idea because I probably should have processed that before I got into it. But yeah, definitely. Like we didn't expect, that's the thing, like we didn't expect A Quiet Place to Die to do what it did. And if it didn't, we probably wouldn't feel so scared about this album. It's like retroactively where that album took us. We're like, is this album going to do the same thing? It's a constant anxiety you have as a band.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think, yeah, I don't know. I knew that would fuck me up. I knew I would get far too mental comparing songs to songs if I did that. And I really just think I tried to shut it out and really, really just focus on the songs and almost like dive further in, so far into it I couldn't think about another one. That's why I think some of maybe the themes or the lines on the new songs are a bit ridiculous or like outrageous or something like that. I was probably trying to do something a little more explosive than the last record, but also I was trying to just not care about what I was doing and just sort of feel and do. Yeah, but at the same time, like, you're always going to compare your work to your older work. I think this one is far superior. But at the same time, like, you don't want your fans to just ditch your last record for your new one as well. Like, I want a full, healthy cycle of everything, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now with this record on the horizon and your fans gearing up to listen to it, do you still feel a little anxious with kind of that just following up on your last record?
Yeah, absolutely. This time around, especially, I'm trying not to dive into all the comments and all the review spaces and stuff like that, because that does send me crazy. So it's, from what I've seen or whatever, like, we are copying it a fair bit, but that's good because that means we did so well on our last album, I suppose. But at the same time, I am really, really, really trying not to pay too much attention to that side of it. I know it's there. But yeah, I don't know, like that at this point I can't expect them to feel any different sort of way, you know? So I know what I'm going to see when I go and look at comments, so I'm just going to not.
I don't blame you for like living in your own bubble per se when it comes to not reading the comments. You're better off that way. I'm the same way. Glory has to sift through all our comments because if I read a mean comment, it's game over. I want to quit. Like it's you know. So I don't blame you.
Shit. Yeah.
It's so stupid too, because you'll just gloss over the 1 million nice comments,
exactly.
and then you would just like hone in on this one dude, and it's just like, oh, brother, like
I'm fucked now. Like my week's ruined.
Yeah, literally, you just went fuck my whole day up, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm too fragile for that sort of thing. So I'm just trying to stay away from it at this point and see what it's like when we actually get to a show to see the reaction.
Yeah.
Exactly.